Welcome back to our channel, where we explore the dramatic twists and turns of human relationships. Today, we're diving into a story that reads like a Hollywood movie, but it's a stark reminder of what can happen when love gets tangled up with money. This is the story of Mark and Aley, a tale of luxury, deception, and a final, shocking reckoning. Mark was a self-made man, a visionary in the tech world who had built an empire from the ground up. He had everything he could ever want: success, respect, and wealth beyond most people's wildest dreams. But there was one thing missing: a partner to share it all with. That's when Aley entered his life. She was captivating, intelligent, and seemed to adore him for who he was, not what he had. Or so he thought. For years, they were the picture-perfect couple. They traveled the world, attended lavish galas, and lived in a breathtaking penthouse overlooking the city. Mark showered Aley with gifts: a collection of designer cars, a sprawling villa in the Mediterranean, priceless jewelry, and even a significant portfolio of stocks in his name. He saw it as sharing his life, his success, with the woman he loved. He trusted her completely, even giving her access to accounts and signing documents she put in front of him without a second thought. To Mark, these weren't just assets, they were symbols of their shared future. He believed they were building a life together, brick by golden brick. But cracks began to appear in their perfect facade. A whispered comment from a friend, a late-night phone call Aley tried to hide, a business associate's subtle warning. At first, Mark dismissed them as jealousy or misunderstandings. He wanted to believe in the love he thought they shared. But the seeds of doubt were planted, and they began to grow. The unease in his gut became a constant companion. The turning point came when Mark's longtime lawyer and friend, David, requested an urgent meeting. David was a cautious, meticulous man, the kind who double-checked everything. He came to Mark not with rumors, but with cold, hard facts. He laid out a trail of financial documents, subtle transfers, newly established shell corporations, and communications between Aley and a shady financial advisor known for asset protection for divorcing spouses. The evidence was undeniable. It painted a picture not of a loving partner, but of a calculated opportunist who was systematically positioning herself to take a substantial portion of Mark's wealth. It seemed Aley wasn't building a future with him. She was planning an exit strategy. The revelation hit Mark like a physical blow. The woman he planned to spend the rest of his life with had been playing a long game, and he was the pawn. The love he felt was replaced by a cold, quiet fury, but he didn't act impulsively. He was a strategist in business, and now, he would be a strategist in his personal life. Working discreetly with David, Mark began to untangle the web Aley had woven. They spent weeks meticulously reviewing every contract, every gift, every transfer. Mark had always been generous, but he was also smart. He had structured many of his gifts through trusts and corporate entities, with specific clauses he never thought he'd need. Now, it was time for the final act. Mark arranged for a special dinner at their penthouse, the very symbol of the life he thought they were building. He told Aley he had a surprise for her, something to celebrate their future. She arrived, looking stunning as always, completely unaware of the storm that was about to break. She spoke of their next vacation, of redecorating the villa, of the life she had so carefully curated. After their meal, as they stood by the floor-to-ceiling windows, the city lights twinkling below like a carpet of fallen stars, Mark turned to her. He didn't shout. His voice was calm, almost chillingly so. He began to recount their story, not as a romance, but as a business transaction. He mentioned the first expensive watch, the sports car, the deed to the villa. With each item, he detailed the date and the circumstances. Aley's smile faltered. She tried to laugh it off, calling him sentimental, but a flicker of panic appeared in her eyes. Mark continued, his voice steady. He then revealed what he knew: the secret bank accounts, the meetings with her advisor, the plan to leave him with a fraction of his own fortune. He saw the color drain from her face as the mask of the loving partner finally slipped, revealing the cold, calculating woman beneath. She dropped the act, her voice turned sharp, venomous. She taunted him, claiming she deserved every penny for the years she invested in him. She told him it was too late, that the assets were hers, legally secure. She believed she had won. That's when Mark delivered his final, devastating move. He smiled, a genuine smile for the first time that evening. He explained that while she was busy planning her exit, he had been busy undoing her work. He calmly detailed how the trusts he created had reversionary clauses. He explained that the gifts were legally structured as revocable transfers. The stocks were held in a corporate entity he still controlled, and he had just exercised his right to reclaim them. The cars were leased through his company, and the leases had been terminated. The villa, it was owned by a holding company that he had just reassigned. Every single asset she thought she had secured was built on a foundation of legal quicksand, and he had just pulled the plug. He handed her a single envelope. It wasn't a love letter. It was a legal notice, informing her that she had 24 hours to vacate the penthouse, which, of course, was also solely in his name. She was left with nothing but the expensive clothes on her back and the jewelry she was wearing. For a moment, there was silence, broken only by the hum of the city far below. The realization of her total and utter defeat washed over Elena's face, replacing her arrogance with pure, unadulterated shock. Mark didn't wait for tears or pleas. He had seen the real Elena, and there was nothing left to say. He simply turned, walked to the door, and left without a single look back. He left her standing alone in the empty opulence of a life she tried to steal, a prisoner in a gilded cage she had built for him, but had ultimately trapped herself in. As the elevator doors closed, Mark felt not joy, but a profound sense of relief. He had lost a fortune in love, but he had regained himself. The city lights seemed brighter now, not as a backdrop for a false life, but as the dawn of his own new beginning. This story is a powerful reminder that trust is the most valuable currency in any relationship. Thank you for watching. If this story resonated with you, let us know in the comments below. And as always, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more content. We'll see you in the next video.